And we're recording. Okay. It is February 16th. I had to think about that for a minute. Welcome to our Sunday night power planning session. And I need it tonight. I did really great yesterday morning, got done super early, and I feel like I haven't really been in my business much since. So I really need to get this under my belt tonight too. And I would be super appreciative if you guys would just blow up the chat box tonight and talk with me, and don't just leave me hanging out here by myself. Give me your thoughts, give me your ideas, feed me also. So something that I was thinking about right before we got started, like literally that's why I got on here at 7, I was Googling, is, you know, if you're watching this live or you're watching the replay, you have a commitment to your business. And so it had me thinking about commitment. And I just did a real quick, Google search. And so a couple of the quotes that popped up that I just want to kind of like let wash over you as we prepare for our week here. Number one, without commitment, you cannot have depth in anything. Like whether it's your work, your relationships, your dreams, your health, you really have to have commitment if you want to go far. And so I think that can be a double-edged sword sometimes for people, because you might feel like I've done this for a while, but it's not where I want it to be, or I was doing really good and now I'm not doing so great. But the fact that you have the commitment to keep showing up means that it's going to come back to you because you're in it. There are so many people who jump in, do it for a hot second, make some quick money, and then the minute it gets hard, they're out. I mean, you've all seen it. You've all seen people come and go. And so I just want to congratulate you for being on these, because it shows your commitment to your business. I have said time and time again, I mean, I've been doing this now for a while. I'm still not 200K, but you know what? That's okay, because the money I make is genuine and real. I'm not buying bonuses. I'm not pushing things that aren't supposed to happen. When it does happen, it's going to be legit and solid. And so it's just so much more important to me to have that commitment to the day-to-day. Speaking kind of towards that, motivation is what gets you started. Commitment is what keeps you going. And so again, there are going to be times, like just like I said tonight, right before we got started, I was like, dang, I've got to get in this. I've got to put my hat back on tonight. That is the commitment showing up. I wasn't motivated. I was committed to do this power planning. Otherwise, tonight could have just zoomed on by, right? So it's the commitment, not the motivation, that gets me here. And then the last one I'll leave you with is, most people fail not because of lack of desire, but because of lack of commitment. And again, I think that just speaks, you guys are here because you are committed to your business. A lot of people have a desire to do a business. You'll hear people say all the time, I want to make a bunch of money, or I want to be an entrepreneur, or I want to do blah, blah, blah. But again, the second it gets hard, the second it gets mundane, the second it's a tight month where sales are down, people leave. And so just kudos to you. Kudos to all of you for being on these with me on Sunday nights, because I know there's a lot more fun stuff to be doing on a Sunday night. But I think the setup for your week is so, I know for me it's super important, and I know for a lot of you it's super important as well. So first thing we're going to start off with, I hope you have your 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 in front of you. Oh, I've been out. I got to blow this Zoom up. I've been out for the last 2 days. I've got to get the calendar so I can get those. Yes. Okay. So Sonia's talking about the red X. And again, for those of you just hopping on, I asked in the very beginning of this, please blow up my chat, this group chat. Like, I love doing these, but I love when we actually have conversations more. So she's talking about her red X. If you do not know what we're talking about with the red X, it came from a Zoom with Kayla Fox, and then it got passed down to, I know Lindsay did a power planning with it. And I know Susan did a Monday night session with it. And so anyway, basically what it is you picking an accountability partner and getting a blank calendar and coming up with, instead of using X's, I'm a total dork and I like to use my little happy face stickers. Whatever, I'm 5. But it's getting those red X's or that happy face sticker so many days in a row. And so here's the thing. It's not about perfection. So for example, I was red Xing it every single day until suddenly this past Thursday. And I had to text my group. And you guys, I don't just have one accountability partner. I'm in an accountability chat with 3 other people. So it wasn't just like I could just tell my one accountability partner that I screwed up. I had to tell all of them. I was like, well, it's Thursday. And, or was it Thursday or Friday? I forget. One day I didn't get my X. I just got behind, work got busy, life got busy, and I got behind. I got close to my X, so that made it even kind of worse because I was so close, but I didn't get it. But here's the thing. the sheer fact I was trying for that X meant I got a lot of stuff done. My personal goal for getting my X is above and beyond this 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So even though I didn't get my X, I more than covered my 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So I still feel good about it, but I have a goose egg, like a blank right there in the middle of my calendar. So now I'm going to start that chain again. I've already started it again. So I've got my X for yesterday. I've got to finish my X for today, and so on and so forth. And then it's just nice to see that big, long chain. So don't beat yourself up if you get a day where you don't get it done. Do what you can. Don't be like, oh, it's so busy, I'm not going to do anything. Like, do something. But if you don't get your X, just pick up the next day and move on with that. So that's what Sonia's talking about when she said she's been out of it the last couple of days and wants to get back on her calendar. So we're going to start with just your affirmations. And I want you guys to think a little out of the box with your affirmations. So some of you might consider affirmations to be prayer-like. Some of you might consider them to be meditation-like. I don't care what you think or believe or how you go about it. It's cool however you like to do it. But I want you to think of 3 things about your business. 3 things that your business changes in your life. So for example, the bigger the business I build, the more people I can help. And so when I say my affirmation, it's going to be more of, I am so honored and blessed to have such a large, abundant amount of business because I'm able to bless other people. So that's how I want you to think of just 3. Okay, so think of something in your business that will help something in your personal life. Okay, so we're just going to write down 3, but like I said, we're kind of wording them a little different. And you guys, it's not that the affirmations you already use aren't great. They are, stick with them, but I just want you to try to think a little bit more big picture. Like for example, I know one that a lot of us use now is I'm a customer signing machine. I love it. I sing that. I can sing that when I'm driving down the road. I can sing it when I'm in the shower. It just plays in the back of my head. But why am I a customer signing machine? Why is that helping me? Because there is going to be a day where I'm like, I don't want to be a customer signing machine today, right? You're going to have those days. But if I can say, because I'm a customer signing machine, I'm bringing such a blessing to other people, or I'm bringing such health to other people, or I'm bringing an income opportunity to so many other people, whatever it is, however you want to word it. But just kind of get to the little bit deeper with the meaning. So I'm going to be quiet for 2 minutes. We're going to write these down, at least 3. If you've got more, great. If you're hopping on, we're doing some affirmations real quick. Turn that off. So while you guys are writing that, I know some of you are only on the Sunday nights, which is cool because I know during the day it's hard for a lot of people to get on there. So I want to encourage you, if you aren't doing a power planning Zoom every day, which by the way, I don't hop on them every single day either. They don't always line up with my client schedule. I just rewrite my affirmations every day in my little notebook. And yeah, it's literally the same thing every day almost. Takes a hot second. And I know it might sound weird, but there's something about actually writing it down every single day. Like I said, I can sing them in my head. I already know them, but writing them down and seeing them helps me so much. So if that's, if you're only writing down your affirmations on Sundays, cool. But if you have time, jot them down during the week too, because it just, again, maybe 4 days a week. It just helps reiterate and seal that in your brain over and over and over. And it's funny, like one of the things I added to my affirmations, I want to say it's been, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks ago, I added, I attract successful business builders. I attract successful business builders. Look, I can sing it, but I can't say it. And you guys, I'm not even kidding. Like a week later, a lady who I've been working with for a really, 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 really long time, who is super successful business builder already of her own, has started talking to me. So every morning, I just say it again. I attract successful business builders. I attract successful business builders. And so I don't know where it's going to go, but it just like reaffirmed to me that you got to put it out there. You got to believe it. You got to feel it if you want it to happen. So anyway, work on your affirmations. Like I said, try to dive into them every day. It could be argued that the business that we're in, this network marketing business, it's a mental business, right? Like, yes, we sell a product, but being a network marketer is a mental business. You have to have a mindset, rock solid. And that to me is one of the hardest parts. Like, I think a lot of people are like, oh, Tammy's confident, she's this. Yeah, but not, when I click this button off, I've got my fears too, right? So, work on your mindset every single day before you work on anything else. Now, I'm not saying, do it for 4 hours and then don't get any work done, but just like 5 minutes with your affirmations every morning, that's going to help build those blocks for your brain. Okay, so diving into the week, I'm going to look out at the calendar here. Tomorrow is President's Day. There will be a lot of children, teachers, bankers, things like that will have the day off. Lavelle is finishing the Valentine's promo today. I don't expect them to throw something out for President's Day, but hey, if they do, great. But if not, you can have something ready for that. You could target it specifically to people who would have the day off. So I always like to keep those little holidays in mind, because like I was just talking to a client the other day, they need a new mattress and she's specifically been waiting for President's Day because she knew there'd be a sale. So people do wait for those little holidays because they know there's going to be some sort of sale. So perhaps someone doesn't think of Valentine's Day as a time for a sale, but President's Day they might. My team, we have a Zoom tomorrow night. This is the time when you're looking at your week. I want you to think, are you doing a Zoom with your team? Are you doing an experience call? Are you doing a recorded call with somebody? Whatever it is, I want you to go ahead and put that in your 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 now, so that you can see your momentum, because when you look at a blank calendar, it can be kind of sad. But when you look ahead and you see, oh, that's right, on Thursday, I'm talking to this girl, and on Saturday, I'm doing this call, it sets that up. But also, it just reminds you. Don't forget these things, because it's easy to forget sometimes. I have a super busy week, but it's not all exactly Lavelle stuff. But I do have a local on Tuesday night with Miss Lisa Cook. She's hosting a local. I'll be going to speaking at it, so I'm super excited for that. So write all those things down. Make sure you have your week in front of you. All right. Okay, so as always, we do reach outs, follow-ups, follow back, follow through, all that jazz. I just want to make sure that I reiterate to you guys that when you're reaching out to people, it's not a, hey, have you heard of Thrive? It's just a, oh my gosh, I haven't seen you in forever, or wow, those vacation pictures looked amazing. And something that I believe it came from Tiffany Deeroff. I just know that in my accountability group, Lindsay talked about it, and I think she said it came from Tiffany, may have come from Kayla before that. I don't know. I always like to give credit, but I don't know who. Make sure to, we do the conscious comments, and if you get into a groove, you can really sit down and you can just pump those out, right? So a conscious comment, for those of you that might be new, for example, let's say you saw one of our clients, I saw she was on vacation. I could be like, oh my gosh, your pictures were amazing. Where did you stay? Like, I know where, like the city, but what hotel? So you could ask, start asking questions, and then take that a step further and go into Messenger. Like when this person writes back that we stayed at the something Marriott, blah, blah, blah. Go into Messenger. Oh my gosh. So what did you think of the Marriott? Did you guys do some excursions, hiking, whatever? Just it's not awkward to land in Messenger when you've already been you started a conversation on their page, right? So whenever you have the opportunity to make a conscious comment, and you ask a question, when the person responds to your answer, and it's just a simple one. I'm just saying, where did you stay? I'm not asking, what flight were you on? How much? None of that stuff. Just where did you stay? When she writes back, we stayed at XYZ, I'll take that into Messenger and ask her a little bit more about it. And again, just all focused on her and the trip. Her and the trip. What did they do? How was it? Did they visit family? Whatever. Just talk to people. You are in a business that sells a product to people, so you've got to talk to people. But it's very important to take as many conscious comments as you can, the next step, which would be into Messenger. And again, part of it is algorithms. Part of it is just the actual connection. Like 7 people may be like, oh, hey, where'd you stay? And she might answer the same thing, right? But I'm going to take it into Messenger. And I don't even know what I'm going to say yet, depending on where she stayed. But I'm going to ask more questions. And I'm going to carry on that conversation, whereas somebody else might just be like, oh, cool, and walk away from it. So again, always try to do your reach outs as, I don't know if intimate's the right word. That sounds weird, but as intimate as you can. Like, be as intimate as you can. Like, get into that person's inbox, right? So every single day we do at least 5 reach outs. We do at least 4 follow-ups. For those of you that are new and you're like, I don't have 5 people to reach out to, you do. If you have a Facebook account or an Instagram account or a text app on your telephone, it's super easy to be like, hey, like let's say you don't have Facebook or Instagram. First of all, get it. Secondly, let's say you don't, and you just have your phone and you got some text messages. Go through your contacts. Go to the A's, find somebody you haven't talked to in forever, and just shoot them a message. Hey, I was just updating my contacts. I saw your name. I haven't talked to you in forever. What is going on? Ask them a question. Get them to start communicating with you. They might be like, that's that weird girl I met on the airplane 6 years ago. I'm not going to talk to her. But they might be like, oh my gosh, I haven't seen that girl in forever. So even if you don't have social media, you've got a telephone, and you must, because you're on a Zoom right now. So you either have a computer or a telephone. You have a way to communicate with people. But think outside the box. You don't want to always be talking to the same people over and over and over. You want to reach out. So like I just said, if you need to, go to the A's. Go down the thing. I know I shared it in my team because I stole it from Lindsay, and I'm not sure where Lindsay stole it from. We just do a lot of stealing around here, but there's the memory jogger that it's like a list of, I think, 5 or 6 different sheets, but it just, where did you used to work? Who used to cut your hair? It's all these things to help trigger your brain, because we're creatures of habit, and I can tell you all the current things in my life, but I have forgotten about some of those. So work through things like that. If you don't see the what I just call it, memory jogger, Google it. Don't let anything stop you. Google it. Remember, we talked about commitment at the beginning of this. You're on here because you're committed to your business. So don't act like you can't find information. Google it. Go find it. If you have a question, go. I use the Google machine all day for the most random things, right? So use it for your business. So I'm going to take a pause here with the talking, and I'm going to say now is a great time. Let's see, it's 7:19. I want you to go ahead and write out your reach outs. So when I say write out, I want you just to put the name. So the name of the people who you're going to reach out to tomorrow. So if you can do Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday in the next few minutes, that would be great. And before you're like, oh my God, she's crazy. How can I do that? Do what I just said. Go to your friends list, go to the A's, or go to your contacts in your phone, go to the B's, whatever floats your boat. But just start writing down names of people that you haven't, that pop up on your screen that you haven't talked to in a while. I'm not saying you have to talk to them right now. We're just planning it out, because then tomorrow when you're busy, it's so much easier to just start talking to the people of the names you wrote down. The other great thing you can do to get names is obviously birthdays. Don't let a birthday pass you by. Birthdays are like freebies. That's the perfect excuse to talk to someone and ask them what they're doing. How are you going to celebrate? The other thing that the memories on Facebook. So again, if you have Facebook accounts, when you go through the memories, I can't remember who said this either. Might have been Nina. I don't know. It's one of the, I've got a lot of good ideas from these power plannings, but like I would go through my memories and be like, oh, look at the picture of my nephew from 3 years ago. That is so cute. Or, oh, look, we were in Vegas last year at this time. Go to the comments of those old posts, see who you were talking to 3 and 4 years ago. If you haven't talked to them in 3 or 4 years, write that name down. ASAP. That's an easy one. I actually discovered last week, I went through this phase. I went through this phase where we were like blocking and clearing out people. And I don't know, maybe I don't think I meant to unfriend this girl, but apparently I'd unfriended her. And I was like, oh, so I put my tail between my legs and I'm like, hey, I just noticed on a memory we were talking 3 years ago, but I looked and we're not friends and I'm super sorry. I don't know if I hit the wrong button or what, but be my friend and we're friends again. So anyway, sometimes you'll learn that. The other thing you can do on your memories at the very bottom, if you scroll all the way down, it'll tell you your friend anniversaries. Oh, 1 year ago today, little Miss Rachel Elizabeth was my friend. But you can reach out to those people and just be like, hey, can you believe we've been hanging out on Facebook for a year together? Or my favorite are the ones where they're like, oh, you've been friends for 8 years. And I'm like, I've known her since I was 2. So just, you can be funny about it, but the way it's set up in memories, next to the person's name, it literally has the message icon. So you don't even have to go anywhere else. Just click the little icon. It'll take you into Messenger and you can be like, hey, it's our friend anniversary. Happy blah, blah, blah. What's going on with you today? I think one of the easiest messages you can send to people is, hey, what's going on? What's happening with you? How are the kids? Like, what? We worry a lot about crafting messages when at the base reality, we're just trying to connect with people. So if it's someone you haven't seen in a while, what's going on? If it's someone you talked to a month ago and you see it in your sheet that their daughter was sick, or maybe somebody had, like, whatever. Just like, so how's Sally? Is she feeling better? Is she all cleared up? Like, whatever. But don't overthink the message. These 5, 4, 3, 2, 1s are not rocket science. They are just activity to spur activity. It's from these, the better you get at just sending out, hey, what's going on? How have you been? I haven't seen you in forever. What's new in your life? What are you doing to celebrate? Where did you stay? Blah, blah, blah. The better you get at these and just churning these out the rest of your day, that's when you can start putting people in group chats. That's when you can start working on promotions for people. That's when you can start doing Facebook Lives and doing calls. It's fun to do the business, but if you don't have customers, you don't have a business. So as much as like the dentist probably adores doing a crown on a customer, on a patient, right? Because they make a lot of money and that's a big intricate thing. If there's nobody on his book to do the crown to, it's no good. So you got to work your book every single day. I sound like a bookie. You got to work your book every single day and fill it up with as much as you can, and then let all that filter down. And you'll hear people talk about the sales funnel a lot. That's what they're talking about. You cast a giant net, you talk to as many people as you can, and out of those, however many people, 50 people, maybe 2 ask you a question. But just think, if you only talk to 20, nobody might ask you a question. So get really good at burning through your 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It just needs to be like the back of your hand. After you have that done every day, then you can start being like, so-and-so asked me this. What do I do now? Put her in a group chat. Sandra says, I'm using the 304 likes, loves from my post the other day and using, 304, sorry, likes and loves from my post the other day and using these popped up in my CCC's Fridays. It'll take me till Wednesday. Yeah, but that's fabulous. Think of all the names you have. Lindsay says, yes, that's why the X factor is huge. It's made me do things I don't like, but now I'm doing them and loving them. And again, she talked about the X factor, as we talked about earlier, like having the calendar. So let me throw this out to you now. If you're on here and you don't have some sort of accountability partner, get one. Just shoot somebody a text that's in your upline, downline, sideline and say, hey, will you be my accountability partner? Now it's up to you. You're going to send them an X at the end of every day. I did it or I didn't. You're going to tell them what it is that you want to accomplish every day, and then you have to do it. But it's just so good to have somebody to check in with. And like I said, I landed in a accountability group of 4 total people. So if that happens, even better. Olivia, I had people like that chicken video. Oh my gosh, yes. Okay, so Olivia just shared the funniest chicken video. I mean, I laughed and laughed. But people were commenting on that she's kind of forgotten about, because here's the thing. If you're posting about Thrive and being healthy and taking care of yourself and how great your life is and how you're blah, blah, blah. I mean, I get it. There's a whole audience for that. But there's also people scrolling on Facebook and they want to see funny chicken videos, and they want to see cute dog videos, and they want to see like weird, I don't know, like I stopped in my tracks the other day. There was a car that was supposed to be going through a roundabout and it just jumped straight over it. Like, there are just things that will catch people's attention. And again, if you're only aiming for one crowd, you're limiting yourself on who you can be talking to. So talk to so many people. I mean, I kind of feel like if at the end of the morning after I've done my 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, if I don't feel slightly confused on who I talked to and what about, then I'm not sure that I did a good job. Like if I can tell you I talked to 3 people, that's not good. So anyway, hopefully while I've been jibber jabbering, you're writing down reach outs based on birthdays, friend anniversaries, people who commented on the old post. And I'll just kind of backtrack again one more time on what Olivia just said. Mix up your social media. People are all the time like, well, how often should I post about Thrive? I don't know. There is no formula. There's no formula. I will say I did see a post today on Instagram from Gary V. And it would, you see these like highly curated Instagram accounts where they actually take the picture and they break it up into a grid of 9 and you scroll their page and it's all blah, blah, blah. He kind of did like a meme of that. And he was like, stop treating your Instagram like an art gallery. Just talk about what you like. And I was like, you know what? He's right. And I had shared in my story earlier in the day that I played with some compost and got one of my flower beds ready. But I put it on I just went and made a post out of it. Like, why wasn't I sharing that with everybody? Why wouldn't I just talk about what I like? I mean, if you know me, you're going to see pictures of dirt and dogs, basically. So within just less than a minute, I had 2 or 3 people sending me a private message. They're like, oh my gosh, I was wondering if we could do this now, or is it too soon? Or, so just be yourself. Obviously, you're going to sprinkle in your Thrive. I think the best place, at least my opinion, I'm not an expert, I think the best place to sprinkle in your business is on your story, because people see it and they can pop through, and it's how they talk about like in movies that you won't really think about it, but the fella at the bar is drinking a Coke and before you know it, you're craving a Coke. It's that product placement. So it's kind of like that in your stories. When they're flipping through those stories and they see that flash, but they're still following your day, you're just placing yourself and your product in front of them in a non-confrontational, this is just how I'm living my life kind of way. And then let them know who you really are. Obviously if somebody's into gardening or dogs, we're probably going to connect. If someone's into Harleys, Sonia's going to connect with them. If somebody has 4 babies, Olivia's going to connect with them, right? Like, just be who you are, go through what you're going through, and the people going through it will connect to you as well. So mix up your social media posts. Don't always try to be health and wellness. I mean, that's part of who you are, but that's not the only thing you are. So attract other people. I don't know. Anyway, I kind of feel like I'm rambling. Okay, so hopefully you've gotten some names written down for Monday, Tuesday, and at least Wednesday. Now, I'm going to ask you as a group, and if you can, just unmute yourself or raise your hand or whatever, or tap it in the chat. But I'm going to tell you, I'm going to be very vulnerable and tell you one of the things I'm struggling with. And of course, right when I say it, Zoom's like, you're running out of time. I am super amazing at the front page of my 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Crazy amazing. Like, you wouldn't believe Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday are like, it's mass insanity. Sometimes, let me show you last week. Sometimes I run out of space. Like, I don't know. Look at this. I run out of space. And then page 2. I don't do so good. What? And it's not that I haven't done the people or the work. For example, yesterday morning, I got my ex before I ever got out of bed. I woke up early and I literally sat in bed and just did all my comments and messaging before I even got out of bed. I didn't write a single name down. I was just on fire and I did it. I can go back now and jot stuff down. So anyway, I don't know. Does anybody else have this struggle? Are you like on fire at the beginning of the week and then, or maybe you're not on fire in the beginning of the week? Does anybody have any suggestions for how Tammy could get it together a little bit better? Anybody? Anybody? That's my problem. I'll comment like crazy and not write anything down. Now, I do know, I was thinking this. Laura says I'm the same way. Well, I feel better that at least I'm not all alone. There is I forget what it's called, but you can go to Facebook and go to your activity. I think it's what it's called. And so I've actually had to do that before where I go back and I'm like, okay, I did this and this and this and this and this. I don't know. I thought about doing screenshots, but Lord knows I have a million screenshots and I never go back to them. I don't know. Like I could go through this entire stack right here and it's the same thing. That cover sheet, I'll call it, is just gangbusters. And then when I get to the last, I don't know. I don't know. Oh, I go to my activity on my profile and try to backtrack. Sandra says I'm the same, but getting the red X. Right, and so that's, I got my red X. I got it. I just didn't write it down. I didn't write all the names down. All right, so we're all in the same boat. Okay, well, if anybody, as your week progresses, if you're like, oh, hey, this is what might help us, shoot me a message and let me know. Because I could use a little help staying on top of the entire week all at once. Okay, so with that, does anybody have any questions? Wait, Lisa Cook says the weekend is harder for me to keep track too. Track and going, like keep going. Yeah, getting it right. Okay. Well, and I will, and like I said before I got on here, I still need to finish my work for today. So I don't know, the sun was out today, you guys. If you live in Ohio, we haven't had the sun in like 11 days, maybe 12. I don't know. It's ridiculous. And so I was outside. Write names for Thursday through Sunday. Oh, Sandra. Well, I know when you write it like that, it just seems so simple. You know what? Maybe instead of, oh, you're saying instead of, or don't stop at Wednesday, but I'm wondering if on Sunday, I need to start writing my names for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And then, yeah. Okay. All right. I'm going to work backwards and I'll report back next week and I'll tell you how that works, if it worked for me. Thank you, Sandra. She was a kindergarten teacher, so she is totally equipped to deal with me in my mind. All right, you guys, if you have anything, raise your hand or throw it in the chat. If not, I'm going to stop our recording. All right, thanks for hanging out with me. I hope you guys have a great week. Dream Team, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.